not the way that I do love you. Well, holy moly, me oh my, you're the apple of my eye. God, I've never loved one like you. Man, oh my best friend, I'm screaming to the nothingness. There ain't nothing that I need. Well, hot and heavy pumpkin pie, chocolate candy, Jesus Christ, ain't nothing pleased me more than you. Oh, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Oh, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. La 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 la, take me home. Mother, I'm coming home. I'll follow you into the park, through the jungle, through the dark. God, I never loved one like you. Boats and waterfalls, alleyways and payphone calls. I'll be here everywhere with you. We laugh until we think we'll die, barefoot on a summer night. Nothing new is sweeter than with you. And in the street we run free, like it's only you and me. Geez, you're something to see. Oh, let me go home. Home is whenever I'm with you. Oh, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Oh, let me come home. Home is whenever I'm with you. Oh, home, let me come home. Home is whenever I'm with you. 'Cause I'm broken when I'm open, and I don't feel right. I'm strong enough, 'cause I'm broken when I'm lost, and I don't feel right when you're gone away. Cause I'm broken when I'm lost, and I don't feel right when you're gone. You've gone away, you don't feel me anymore. No words appear before me in the aftermath. Salt streams out my eyes and into my ears. Every single thing I touch becomes sick with sadness, because it's all over now, all out to sea. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you. What could have been, would have been you. Did some bird flap its wings over?
Thank you all for your patience. Thank you for being here. For those of you that have been to funerals before, you know one of the first things I'm going to say, well, very often we say, turn your phones off. I'm not going to tell you to do that today. Krista would not turn her phone off, no matter what. That wasn't going to happen. So you don't have to turn your phones off. Maybe put them to silent. But if you got them in your hands and you see something, you hear something that reminds you of her, that helps to explain her story, you can post, you can update, you can tweet, you can do whatever you need to in this service, because she wasn't afraid of having a little bit of a social media presence. And I want the world to know that Krista lived. She made a difference. And so as we start our service, I'm going to call on a little help from those that are going to help us with her traditions and her backgrounds, her Aboriginal heritage, as we begin our service today. It's not easy for anyone to be here today. We're feeling so many difficult emotions. We're shocked, we're confused, we're angry, we're sad, and all of these emotions want to come out in different ways. We want answers, but there's not very many answers to give. And so I think Robert Brault might have said it best when he said, sometimes the best gift we can give to one another is understanding, even when we ourselves cannot fully understand. Well, the incredible love that each person here has for Krista and for each other is going to help you through this. We're not going to make it all better today, but we can lift one another up and find that as we do so, our own pain becomes a little bit lighter and a little bit easier to bear. I know that each of you have so much going on in your own lives, and there's a million things outside of this room that want to occupy your mind. But we get to take a few moments aside from everything else that we do and allow the memories of Krista to be our focus. She lived her life. It wasn't without its challenges, and she had very good times, some very difficult times. Sometimes it was incredibly complex. Other times it was so simple. She looked for the best in others, and she usually found it. And so our time together allows us to remember her life, her relationships, and to know that her story is not over right now. It continues on with each one of you here. And so as we begin, we're going to listen to a song that tells us it's okay to remember and to see beauty around us even when our heart is broken. So let's listen together.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
We've been told there's a time, there's a season for everything. There's a time for tears and a time for smiles. Today, we don't know what we're supposed to do. We don't have the perfect words to end grief. We need to help each other through this journey and find peace in her memory. So there's times when we can enjoy good days, times when we have to help each other through really rough days. But if in every sorrow, if we find blessings in the middle of all the tears, and we fill our hearts with the best of the past, then hope will come to us. We know there's always going to be trials, but in every sorrow there's hope, and for every tear there's love. So we'll work our way through these feelings of sadness, and we'll find strong and lasting memories to be a comfort. And as we find peace in Krista's memory, we can help one another find a place for her to remain part of who you are. You see, you've come today because you're the ones who loved her, who laughed with her, supported her, and now you miss her. And this journey of grief, it's this long and winding path. We find it's best walked with others who are willing to listen, willing to offer shoulders for support. It was said there's no greater journey than one that's taken with the help of a friend. So thank you to everyone here who's a friend to the people Krista cared for. Even though it's so difficult to come into a funeral home, you're here, and many of you have come a long way to be part of this important moment. Perhaps you're watching with us online. And if you are, I want you to know that you are part of the healing process for everyone today too. Thank you all for being here. Today we get to tell a bit of Krista's story and find some comfort knowing that she has found her place of peace. It's not easy to do that, but the love you have for Krista and for each other compels us to do that. Love is so difficult to understand. It can bring such joy and it can cause so much pain. Krista went through good times and she had some hard times, but through it all, there was love. See, she loved in the only way she could, and that was with all her heart. And sometimes the love she had took her in a direction you didn't want her to go, but you know there was a good person in there. When she spoke to you, she made you feel like you were the most important person in the world. In fact, she often made you smile, even on the days you didn't think it was possible. But Krista, she also didn't put up with a lot of crap. She told you what she felt needed to be said. She often cared for others through this cloud of her own illness. Her addictions and her battles with mental health left her fighting through an incredible pain every day. She didn't tell everyone about her pain, but we knew it was tough for her. And so it's easy to come here with searing judgments or thoughts on how she could have done better, but no one knows the fires that burned within her, the clouds that she lived through, and the incredible victories that she had. And through it all, she loved. You see, love is not just a feeling that makes us happy. For her, it was a call to action. Sometimes it's hard work and it can be painful, but it's the most important thing we can do for each other. We've been told love always protects, it always trusts, it always hopes, and it always perseveres. That love never fails. The fact that you're all here today is proof that her love has not failed. Love doesn't require us to be perfect people. Krista got it right sometimes, and other times she messed it up, just like we all do. She had her faults and her quirks, but she was surrounded by amazing people. She was the sweetest person, but don't cross her. She would do anything to make you smile, but she would also make sure you knew if you did wrong. She could push your buttons, and you loved it when she did. And so many people have loved having her in their life, including so many teachers in Mount Albert. We say and do the wrong things sometimes, but love is still there, even when we're not at our best. And that is how love never fails. She always had a home where she knew she was welcome. Thankfully, none of us have the pressure of being perfect people. So as a community of support for her family, we can say that the person she was enough for us. She showed you that life can still have meaning even when we struggle with a fight no one else can understand. And so now, the world seems strangely quiet at the loss of her voice. Because her life wasn't just her struggles. Her life, there was beauty in there. There was sunshine in there. Her life was being a daughter to Shannon and her stepfather, Charlie. It was being a sister to Sierra and Danielle, and to Brett as well. She was an aunt, she was a cousin, she was a relative, she was a friend. And she left us with this amazing story that we get to tell. Her life is one that saw beauty in the world around her, and then she loved to share it. She loved writing in her journal. She saw Disney magic in the movies. She was a TikToker, an avid TikToker. She was a fantastic fashionista, and she trusted so easily and so fully. And now the world has lost a bit of its unique character, and we're going to miss her. And the poet said, "To the living, I'm gone. To the sorrowful, I'll never return. To the angry, I was cheated. But to the happy, I'm at peace." Now I cannot be seen, but I can be heard. So when you stand upon a shore looking at a beautiful sea, remember me. And as you wander through nature and you look up at the stars, remember me. And then when you look upon a flower and you admire its simplicity, remember me. Remember me in your heart and in your thoughts, your memories of the times we loved, the times we cried, the times we fought, and the times we laughed. For if you always think of me, I will never be gone. Her story is yours to share now. And so I'm going to ask for a little bit of help with that. And I'm going to call first on her mom, and then she's going to be followed by her sisters. Shannon, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for your attendance today. Krista, baby girl, my family are also touched. Krista touched so many lives. She has a beautiful smile and a big heart, as you all know. She could make us laugh every day and even when we were down. When Krista was born, that was one of the best moments in my life. As she grew older, she grew into a beautiful soul. Krista was still a kid at heart. We would cuddle and watch Disney movies. Krista would hug you tight and tell you it's going to be okay when times got tough. Krista had a sparkle in her eyes. She suffered from high anxiety and depression. And as we tried to comprehend the passing of her father, John, it absolutely shattered her. Krista had some extremely close friends she kept close to her heart. Tegan Sodor, Tyler Budd, Catherine Burke, which she called Gargamel, from the Smurfs. John, Shay Kane, just to name a few. Krista was extremely close to her sister Sierra. They were always laughing and joking around. Krista was Sierra's best friend. Krista loved her older sister Danielle as well, along with her niece and nephew, her niece Kylie, and her two nephews, Bryson and Logan. Krista also loved her stepfather Charlie, Uncle Corey, Lauren, Valerie, and her nephews Hayden and Ashton. Krista was very protective of me as well and loved me so much as I do her. Krista loved the movie Home Alone and would always say to Sierra, "Your horse's ass." Krista loved music. It was her world and was extremely good with her makeup, as you all know. Krista loved art, drawing, and wanted to do cosmetology. That was her dream. Sierra and I were always her subjects. Krista loved fashion as well. Krista has so much love for everyone. I can't express this enough. Krista also believed in trust. It was a big thing for her. And when you broke it, it gave her a lot of pain and tears. Krista would give you the shirt off her back to keep you warm and to comfort you at any time. Krista had a lot of loyalty and would be there for anyone in need, day or night. I am so lost for words as Krista's smile and beautiful face would light up any room. Krista, my monkey face, I never thought this day would come for me to have to let you go. No more hugs and kisses for me. No more of you and I dancing and singing at the house or in the car. I know you're with your father, John, me, and Papa. I will miss you, You're my monkey face. I love you forever. I love you forever, my baby. My baby, you will be. Chris had a poem that she wrote, and I'd like you to share with you now. It's called Never Give Up. Never give up, never lose hope, always have faith. It allows you to cope. Trying times will pass, as they always do. Just have patience, your dreams will come true. So put a smile on, you will live through this hard time. Know it will pass, and even more, the strength you will gain. Krista-Joel Borley.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. It means the world for us. Everyone is here because our sister blessed our lives in one way or another. For us, she was our heart and soul. Being big sisters meant we were our hearts on the outside. Today our hearts break, and there will always be a hole that cannot be replaced. Together we will unite, and we will carry our baby sister with us every day in our lives through our stories. We will remember her smile, her laugh, her hugs and kisses. We will miss you every second of every day. We'd like to share a poem that we wrote. It's called Our Sister. You never said I'm leaving. You never said goodbye. You were gone before we knew it, and only God knows why. A million times we needed you. A million times we cried. If love could have saved you, you would have never died. If roses grow in heaven, Lord, please pick a bunch for us and place them in our sister's arms and tell them they're from us. Tell her that we love her. And when she smiles, place a kiss upon her cheek and hold her for a while. It broke our hearts to lose you, but you didn't go alone. Because remembering you is easy, we do it every day. But there's an ache within our hearts that will never go away.
It was once said that you can tell where a beautiful soul has been by both the smiles and the tears that are left behind. Thank you for letting us walk with you through the tears. Thank you for helping us find reasons to smile as we remember her. I know there's a lot of stories that can be told about her, and there's a lot of thoughts and memories. And I'm not going to put you all on the spot to come up and share. Instead, we're going to pause for a song. She loved music so much. And this song, it talks about relationships. So think of the best that you shared with her as we listen together.
In
It's been said that no one truly dies unless they're forgotten. And with each of you here, we can ensure that she's never forgotten. I know that it's hard for us to understand death. We really know so little about it. We don't really know what happens to us after we die. We have guesses that are based upon stories and faith and hopes. But we know that when her eyes closed to this world, it was only a blink of an eye and she was at peace. Now, there's probably many different views in this room on what happens after we die. Some believe we're reincarnated, some believe in heaven, or in a higher power that will now hold her until we can see her again. So you can be sad that Krista's not here as she was before, but you don't need to be sad for her. She has no more pain, and her memory is always going to be part of who you are. She does not need our forgiveness for dying. Let me repeat that one. She does not need our forgiveness for dying. She needs us to tell her story. So your responsibility is to remember her often. And it doesn't matter if the stories make you laugh or cry, because they're all part of this healing process. We know that she loved, she was loved, she'll always be loved. So when you can, do something that will remind you of the best of her. We need to lift each other up through the good times and through the bad, to remember Krista and to understand that this world, it is a better place because she was here. If you're a friend of her family, I want to encourage you to be with them, to support them. A friend of mine, an author named Doug Manning, says there's 3 things above all else you can do to help someone as they're grieving. He says you can hang around, you can hug them, you can hush. That means you don't have to have the perfect words to take away their pain. They need that pain for a while to help them find healing. But be with them and let them talk when they need to talk. Let them cry if they need to cry. But be understanding if they're not ready to open up and share all their feelings. So be with them, even in silence when it's needed. We are going to take the rest of our lives to talk about Krista. And we're going to start today, because when we're done with this service, there's a little gathering that's prepared upstairs. There's lots of food up there. There's pictures, there's stories, there's memories, and there's a time to help one another as you remember Krista. And so before we make our way up there, I want to leave you with this poem that I came across recently. It said, "When I come to the end of my journey and I travel my last weary mile, just forget if you can that I ever frowned and only remember the smile. Forget the wrong words I let slip out and remember some good I have done. Forget that I ever had heartache and remember I've had loads of fun. Forget that I've stumbled and blundered and sometimes I fell by the way, but remember I fought some hard battles and won ere the close of the day. Now don't always grieve for my going. I would not have you sad all the day. But now and then just look toward the skies and remember the difference I made. And think in the shade of the evening when the sun paints the sky in the west. My life was a gift to remember. And now I've earned my rest." And so thank you for being part of that journey that was Krista's life. Thank you for holding her up with love. And thank you for doing that with her family now. We're going to finish our service here. We're going to make our way upstairs, join with the family, take some time with them. And as we close, I'm going to ask Jack and his crew, they're going to come out with us and play as we leave this room. I'd ask if you're able, would you please stand?
And I just wanted to explain a little bit what was happening here today. We burnt a medicine called sage, or mushkadewash. It's a cleansing medicine, and it's used for many different things. One of those things is to learning how to let represents the heartbeat of our mother. So all of us would have heard this song. And that's when we were at our purest form. That song I sang was called Man I Dove in His A. It talks about this pure spirit that we have. Some of us have had trials and tribulations in life. This world and society has taken our pureness from us. So when we hear this drum, we remember when we were at our purest form, when we were safe and healthy. So to take care of each other and ourselves, live a good life. And so I'm going to sing a song, a traveling song. One of the things we do as non-Native people is we don't mention her name for a year. And that's just an option for you guys if you're wondering about the origin of her family. Put a feast plate out for her on her yearly celebration day. Remember that. So as I sing this song, it's about her traveling that western doorway towards that beautiful sun, that beautiful place. So when we speak of her name, it's almost like calling her back, and her spirit isn't going to be able to rest properly. So it's just a bit of an option for you guys, and if you're wondering about different things in culture. So this song talks about that traveling song. So as I'm singing this song,